This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha discussing our visit to Cartagena, Colombia. Colombia is the 63rd country I have visited since leaving the United States in 2007. Don't take notes as you listen. Everything I say is in writing with links in Google Maps to find them. Just click the link to this blog in the notes below this YouTube video and everything's there. Best Cartagena Colombia travel guide and video. The best Cartagena travel guide and video includes Cartagena top 10 things to do, Cartagena condo rental, best Cartagena restaurants, best Cartagena nightlife, Cartagena money saving tricks, Cartagena safety and health risks, and Cartagena cost of living. The extravagance and irony of this walled city is apparent with cobblestone streets, flowers brimming from second-story balconies, horse-drawn carriages, and musicians playing in the mini plazas around the statues of fallen heroes that owned and tortured hundreds of innocent people as slaves. For an over-the-top colonial Colombian experience, Cartagena Old Town Centro is the jewel in the crown. The sense of colonial history is rich with facts that spring to life in the stories that occurred hundreds of years ago where you are now standing. Cartagena is the historical heart of the Caribbean. The castle walls were built by 80,000 humans captured in Africa. You will hear about men like St. Peter Claver, who lived in Cartagena and died in 1650 and convinced many slave owners to treat their slaves like humans and set them free. You will hear stories about how Sir Francis Drake held the city of Cartagena ransom for gold, which is why Spain eventually constructed the castle walls. Chung Hoi is the beautiful tall woman in the pictures. She is HoboVentures.com founder, travel writer, foodie, and Mercedes-Benz Stylo Model of the Year for 2012. Cartagena, top 10 things to do and see. Cartagena Old Town, inside the castle walls. Stay in Centro or San Diego, both of which are inside the castle walls of the old city of Cartagena. If you're a backpacker or on a budget, you can stay in Getsemani or Boca Grande. But I wouldn't recommend staying anywhere else. Make sure to rent a bike the first day and ride around the city so you get a feeling for where you want to spend the most time. The truth is, you don't really need to read any or listen any further. These three parts of Cartagena are so beautiful that you will be able to entertain yourself there without any guides or advice. But as usual, I will share my favorite things with you. In the map here, you'll see that the old town is broken into three areas: Centro, San Diego, and Getsemani. Central area of Old Cartagena. The above central area in the map of Old Cartagena is simply spectacular. Just walk around, take pictures, read the plaques on buildings to get the sense of history and people. There's a real sense of the colonial Americas here, beginning in the 1500s, not long after Columbus discovered the Americas. How do you discover a place with millions of people living there? Centro is where wealthy Colombians have lived in Cartagena for over 400 years. Here are a few you must see in El Centro. St. Peter Claver's Church, number 5 below in details. Sir Francis Drake's home, Plaza Santa Domingo, and St. Catherine Alexander Cathedral. If you enjoy learning about history when you travel, there's a link here to a guided walking tour of Cartagena. The San Diego area of Cartagena, number 2. This was originally the middle class area of the old city of Cartagena, but now is also some of the most expensive real estate in South America. It is slightly more quiet than Centro and is home to some of my favorite restaurants listed below. The San Diego area of Old Cartagena is best discovered with reference to the best Cartagena restaurants. See below. Getsemani, area of Old Cartagena, number 3 on the top 10 things to do. Make sure to visit Iglesia de la Trinidad Square for a great people watching experience. Getsemani was originally the lower class neighborhood of the old city of Cartagena, but it has become very chic. The graffiti and attitude reminds me of the East Village in New York City a decade or so ago. Some people online are paranoid about the Getsemani area of Cartagena, but I didn't really perceive Getsemani as that much higher of a threat. Take a taxi at night if you feel worried at all. St. Peter Claver's Church. 60 million humans were kidnapped from Africa and taken to the Americas before slavery was made unlawful in the 1850s. 80,000 of those slaves were used to build the walls of Cartagena. St. Peter Claver was a Jesuit priest who lived in Cartagena, died in 1650 during the height of the slave trade. Peter baptized about 300,000 slaves and convinced many slave owners to set their slaves free. Playa Blanca. Colombians and some tourists head to Playa Blanca on the weekends to get a break from city life. This is a gorgeous beach that is only a 40-minute boat ride from Cartagena. You can catch a boat ride with the locals for about $10 each way, but that's not recommended. We learned by experience that it's better and safer to hang out with a guide in Playa Blanca, especially if your Spanish language skills are not that strong. Here's a tour that includes just Playa Blanca. Just click the link. And there's another that also includes Rosario Island in addition to Playa Blanca. Stay away from street peddlers offering tours at incredibly low prices. See the safety tips below. There are many stories online about how street peddlers use cheap tours as a tourist isolation technique. Rent a bicycle. Number 6 on the things to do, you can rent a bike for less than $2 an hour. It's a lovely thing to do when you first arrive to get an idea of which parts of the old city you want to focus upon. We rented bikes in San Diego area at Seco Bike Rentals. They have the best bikes. Again, just go to the web page, click the link, and you'll see where they are on the map. Santa Marta. This is a smaller, more relaxed, and cheaper version of Cartagena. It's a small colonial area town on the beach about 4 hours from Cartagena. Google Vagabond Buddha, Santa Marta, Colombia to read our blog about this place and how to get there. We really loved Cartagena, but if you have more than a week, you should spend a week or more in Santa Marta. While in Santa Marta, make sure to visit Tayrona National Park. Best sunsets in Cartagena. This is number 8. Verify the time of sunset. Click the link and then head over to Cafe Del Mar about 30 minutes before sunset to get a decent seat. They have house music playing there and a beautiful sunset view from the top of the castle walls. If you prefer acoustic music while you watch the sunset, from Cafe Del Mar, as you face the ocean, walk to your left about 500 meters along the top of the castle wall. Evening walks. After dinner, wander around the inside the castle walls of old city of Cartagena, Centro and San Diego. Wandering may be the most relaxing part of your stay. Along with beautiful people from all over the world, you'll witness all sorts of street entertainers who are working for donations. Dancers, jugglers, musicians, mimes, rappers, horse-drawn carriages, puppeteers, and peddlers galore, souvenirs and tours. I saw a Michael Jackson impersonator that was as good as the original. Not kidding. The significance of your evening walks will be rich in history after your walking tour, highlighting the historical significance of Cartagena. There's a suggested tour on our webpage. Best Cartagena accommodations. I spent 1 week in Cartagena during an 8-week visit to Colombia. I waited to book until the last minute. Bad idea in high season. I was unable to get a place inside the castle walls, but here are a few affiliate links to the 3 places I recommend, depending on your needs and budget. There's a low price option, a medium price option, and a luxury condominium, all in great locations. Feel free to change the dates and prices for your needs and budget, but try to stay inside the walls if at all possible. The experience of staying inside the walls and not dealing with transportation in and out of the castle walls each day is so much better. Best Cartagena restaurants. If you've caught a bit of the foodie bug, the San Diego area of the walled city of Cartagena seems to be an overachiever when it comes to the number of delicious alternatives as compared to its celebrity big brother, the Centro area. The good news is that everything is less than 10 minutes walk away inside the castle walls. The first pick restaurant, La Cevicheria. Again, Google links at the webpage. This restaurant was so delicious, we had to return twice in 7 days. The food and prices really provide serious competition as compared with places in Central that could cost twice as much. There are delicious vegetarian options also that melt in your mouth. Torre Luna, for a white tablecloth romantic interlude while in Cartagena. This restaurant near Plaza de San Diego has an entirely vegetarian menu with many vegan options as well. For vegetarians struggling to find rich, traditional, regional dishes to provide historical context to your taste buds, they have a vegetarian paella that brings the flavors of Cartagena to life. Number 3, Girasol's Restaurant. This place has made an art of turning meaty vegetarian dishes or meaty dishes into vegetarian options. They also have vitamins and other health foods if you need a nutritional bump during your walks around the city of Cartagena. 923 Tapas and Vinos. We just wandered into this restaurant on our first night in Cartagena. We were on a hunt for a delicious meal and our nose led us in the right direction. We later learned that this is a top 3 restaurant in the central area of the walled city. They have traditional regional foods of all shapes and sizes, including vegetarian choices. Juan Del Mar Restaurant. This place is popular. If you can get a seat, you'll love the quality of the food and the atmosphere. Plus, it is located in Plaza de San Diego, which is one of my favorite plazas in the walled city. The plaza has a gorgeous water fountain in the center, surrounded by beautiful flowered bushes and trees, and artists selling their recent creations. This plaza has an amazing concentration of delicious restaurant choices, and there's a Cuban jazz club next door with live music every night at 8 p.m. Best Cartagena nightlife. The entire area inside the castle walls is one walkable party, so just follow your ears while walking. But here are a few of our choices. Café Del Mar. Start your evening watching the sunset from the top of the castle walls at Café Del Mar. Then walk over to Plaza de San Diego and have a relaxing 2-hour dinner at La Cevicheria or Juan Del Mar restaurant. By then, the live music should be popping at Cuban 1940. Cuban 1940. This place has live Cuban jazz music at 8 p.m. 7 nights a week. After catching an hour or 2 of Cuban sounds, wander the cobblestone streets and take pictures of this heaven on earth. Enjoy the crazy human characters that inhabit this planet. Then, if the mood strikes, head over to Plaza Santo Domingo. Check to see if any of the sounds wafting from the second-story balconies tickle your ears or make your feet happy. If so, go in and dance the night away. High-energy dance parties. Slim Shady must not have had a passport when he said, "Nobody listens to techno anymore." For a high-energy dance party, check out Elvisa, Bar, or Fragma. The popularity of these sorts of places changed with the wind, so make sure to read some Google reviews that occurred in the last week before paying any cover charges. Cartagena livability factors. Walkability. Cartagena Old Town is a perfectly walkable city in the general sense. It is only when you exit Centro San Diego or Getsemani that you may need a taxi. You could try to use Uber. We were able to get an Uber about half of the time when we were there. At night, I wouldn't walk anywhere outside this area unless you are in a well-lighted area with many people around you. In general, stay out of situations where you are isolated. The internet. We stayed in a condo and the internet was great, but I hear not all home systems are so reliable. For digital nomads and people working online, check out one of the co-working space if you need guaranteed high speeds. There's a link provided. Exercise. We just ran around the neighborhood for exercise. There are gyms in Cartagena with a link. I also use resistance bands to stay toned because they weigh almost nothing and fit easily into my luggage. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are my run and resistance band days, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are for yoga. I do yoga with Adrian or Fight Master on YouTube. Links provided. Tourist safety tips. Don't be an obvious target. No jewelry, no expensive watches, no expensive designer brands, and no $1,200 smartphones should be visible during the day or night. Bring an older smartphone for navigation and internet access. Don't get isolated. There should always be normal human activity amongst the local people around you. Be aware of the people around you. Are they going about their life naturally or focusing on you? At night, I felt completely safe inside the castle walls. It felt a little sketchy just a few blocks outside the castle. It never hurts to visit the U.S. State Department's travel warnings and check any country you are visiting. Food cost. You can save money in Cartagena by cooking at home, no doubt. Food costs from the grocery store are about 25% cheaper than the U.S. The budget grocery stores are even cheaper. Here are several grocery stores inside the castle walls. Links provided. Éxito is medium priced and Carrillo is high-end foreign groceries. Weather. The weather in Cartagena is warm, 80 Fahrenheit to 84 year-round, or 26 C to 28 C year-round. It is at sea level at the equator, or close, so the weather is fairly hot and constant year-round. Always wear sunblock, 30 or more, even when it's overcast. Wear sunblock and a hat, even when you intend to walk only on the shady side of the street. Health risks. Yellow fever shots are required to visit many parts of Colombia, and Zika is still listed as a risk in Colombia. See the CDC webpage. As a side note, you can get your yellow fever shot when you land at the Bogota airport. Just have the information desk point you to the vaccinations clinic on the second floor of the airport. But if you need any of the other shots recommended by the CDC or your layover in Bogota is not long enough, get shots before coming to Colombia. Cartagena money-saving tricks. SIM card. Unlock your smartphone before you leave home. Load Skype on your phone and answer calls to your home phone, which should be forwarded to Skype. Put your home country cell phone number on forward to Skype telephone number and before you board your flight. Pull your home country SIM card out of your phone before you board your flight. Get a local SIM card for about $25 for 4G speeds for a month, which includes internet data. You can buy that at the airport when you land. Internet data on your new SIM card is all you need to answer Skype, WhatsApp, or Google phone calls on your smartphone while you're away from your home country. One friend of mine didn't follow this advice and spent $300 on one phone call because he roamed on his home country SIM card when he was on foreign soil. Taxi and airport transfers. In a word, Uber. Load Uber onto your smartphone before you arrive. I read that you should only get in a taxi that you have called first by telephone. Don't ask a random taxi to stop. There's no record of you being with them because you didn't call and register. There's a very small chance you'll be mugged or killed, but why take the chance? Super important tip. Pick a well-known landmark and select that for your Uber pickup and drop-off locations. The drivers don't seem to use addresses in this part of the world. We stayed next to a well-known restaurant, so we gave that as a pickup and drop-off location, and they found it every time where they couldn't find the address. Public transportation. If you follow our suggestions, you won't end up riding any public transportation while in Cartagena. But see our Santa Marta Colombia blog post for a great shuttle recommendation if you visit Santa Marta. That includes Wi-Fi. Onward flights. We tried to board our flight from Mexico to Colombia using a one-way ticket. Interjet wouldn't let us board the flight because we had no onward flight or bus leaving Colombia. Onward flight tip. Book on Orbitz and they will let you cancel the ticket if you do it within 24 hours. Book right before jumping on your flight, show proof of exiting Colombia, and then cancel the flight when you land. Closing thoughts on Cartagena. I had heard from digital nomad friends that Colombia was a beautiful spot to visit, and I agree 100%. Colombia is the 63rd country I've visited since leaving the United States, in 2011, and Colombia has been well worth the visit. Next, we head to Santa Marta, Colombia, which is on the edge of the Tayrona National Park. If you have enjoyed this video, please like the video, leave a comment below, and click subscribe below to learn where we go next. To learn more about how I've traveled the planet for over 10 years without a normal job, please visit vagabondbuddha.com. The world is your home. What time will you be home for dinner? Below is the estimated cost of living 1 month in Cartagena as a temporary visitor. Have an amazing day.